They may be best friends, but Oprah Winfrey wasn't about to give Gayle King a pass when it came to social distancing.
Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King address those long-standing rumors that they're secretly a couple. The women appear alongside Melinda Gates for a new episode of her interview series Moments That Make Us, where they discuss their close bond.
Oprah Winfrey is making headlines once again, but not for reasons one might have suspected. For years, Oprah had been the go-to person for a tell-all story. From Michael Jackson to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Reaction coming in about Harry and Meghan's 2-hour bombshell interview with Oprah last night on CBS.
Today, Oprah is revealing new information that did not air.
No wonder she is America's most talked-about show host. But now, the tables have turned. Oprah finds herself under the spotlight again. What could she possibly have done? And what secrets did she hide for years? Join us as we delve into how Gayle King just revealed everything about Oprah. The big reveal. Gayle King revealed that her decades-long friendship with Oprah stands strong to this day, because they both are equally as happy for each other's successes. Back in July, Oprah, 70, and Gayle King, 69, appeared on Melinda French Gates' Moments That Make Us interview series, and the women spoke with Gates about the lifelong power of their close friendship. According to Oprah, she thinks that they have shared pretty much everything, and she also felt obligated to say that it wasn't even a matter of navigation. The friendship just came naturally. The duo also noted that for years, people have often hinted at their effortless bond and been mistaken for something more. For years, the duo had to listen to people say all sorts of things about their friendship. Oftentimes, it was insinuated that the friends were romantically involved with each other, and this was something that they were up against for a long time. Gayle noted that she used to tell Oprah that she had to do a show on it.
The BFFs first met when working at Baltimore news station WJZ-TV, and their close connection has spanned nearly 5 decades.
Because it was hard enough for her to get a date on Saturday night with people. Because many thought that she was romantically involved with one of the biggest television personalities to ever exist. She also added that if they were truly involved with each other, they'd let the world know about it. The reason behind their long and successful friendships is that somehow they are always happier for each other. Oprah revealed that she thinks their friendship has worked because Gayle is always happier, not just happy, but happier for her, for any kind of success or victory or challenge she gets through, than she is for herself. Oprah also notes that she feels as happy as Gayle does. But no matter how happy she feels, she can't be happier than Gayle. When it comes to being happy, no one does it better than her. Gayle also revealed during the conversation that their bond allows them to cut through outside noise they receive from people in their lives, who are perhaps not as honest with them. She pointed out that in Oprah's life, everybody is always very flattering and is always very agreeable with things that she says, because she is Oprah. Gayle noted that she is the only one that can go and tell her friends sometimes, "That's just not true. Your hair does not look good." Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey have been in the television business for years now. How have they managed to build a beautiful friendship and keep competition out of it?
Friendship is very important. It is one of life's great things.
We've been friends since we were
21 and 22.
21 and 22.
You're older.
There is not a better human being in the world.
The power of friendship. They were both in their 20s in the early days of their careers, and both women were employed at Baltimore's WJZ station. Oprah was an anchor for the 6 o'clock news, and Gayle was a production assistant. Despite working in different departments, both were around the same age and single young black women. Their familiar and relatable realities meant the two ladies struck up an immediate bond. In the August 2006 issue of O, the Oprah magazine, the two recounted their friendship origin story. Oprah had invited her to stay with her for the night, after it was clear that she couldn't make it home during a snowstorm. And as they say, the rest is history. Gayle King recounted that they became friends that first night because, for the first time, she met somebody who she felt was like her. Prior to that time, she had never met anybody like that. Certainly not another black girl, as she did not have the experience of growing up amongst her people. She grew up in an all-white community. The two explained that both of them could relate to the fact that even their musical tastes put them at odds with peers. Gayle loved Barry Manilow, and Oprah was a fan of Neil Diamond. It was just that whole being the odd girl out thing that made them relate so much with each other.
After working together in their 20s, Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King quickly realized they were more than just work friends, they were best friends.
They didn't fit into everybody else's perception of what it's like to be a black girl, Oprah had said. Gayle King added that they still had a very strong sense of being black and were very proud of being black. So to meet another black girl like that was just mind-blowing. Their friendship is also built on many beautiful moments. On Oprah's 40th birthday, Gayle King pulled off the ultimate surprise by unexpectedly popping in on Oprah in the middle of an episode. Oprah had prepared for an on-air party for her milestone birthday, and celebrity guests like Gladys Knight, Felicia Rashad, Aretha Franklin, and Patti LaBelle were all in attendance, talking about how they lived their best lives in their 40s. But just as Knight was providing some wisdom, a clearly shocked Oprah interrupted to make a special announcement, exclaiming that her best friend had arrived. It was a touching moment, and the friends embraced each other fiercely. And through tears, Oprah explained why exactly her best friend's appearance was so welcome. On stage, she noted that the moment was so touching to her because, despite the level of celebrity star power that was there, and then with everyone else coming, she silently thought to herself that she wished she could also be there to see it. Gayle King, on the other hand, was equally grateful to be in attendance, offering the most humble response. She noted that she had no song to sing, nor did she have any words of wisdom to quip in with. She just wanted to be there with her friend on her special day.
CBS Morning's co-host Gayle King helped mark the milestone with a special birthday shout-out to her best friend.
The friendship between the two continued to blossom over the years, and soon they began to record milestones in their careers. With the immense success both enjoyed, were they able to maintain their level of friendship, be there for each other, and continue to have shared experiences. The joy of shared experiences. For the ultimate exercise in stepping out of their comfort zones, the friendship duo visited a family in Maine for the PBS series Colonial House, where people live like it's 1628. This was completely a voluntary venture, and it would go on to become one of the show's most unforgettable segments. With no technology, running water, or electricity, Oprah and Gayle King set out to spend a weekend as the Colonials did, traditional garb and all. The two made a powerful attempt to survive the experience, participating in a bonfire dance in lieu of more modern entertainment. Oprah even recalled Gayle King's hilarious moves, bursting into laughter as she told the story. She could not stop laughing as she continued to tell the story of how Gayle King's partner threw her down and how hilarious it was to see her fall to the ground.
It's Oprah dancing and singing to music featured in The Lion King.
Later on, the friends bonded with their host family as the group all worked together to cook dinner and bake a cake. It was an experience Oprah called one of the most special meals she'd ever had, as it reminded her of her childhood. Despite them having special meals, it wasn't quite enough to convince them to live the colonial life. The whole idea behind the experience was that they were going to spend only the weekend with all of those people. But after Gayle King got thrown down in the square dancing episode, and she went down, they decided to leave a little early. This was a beautiful moment in their friendship. Although their paths are similar, The two friends have carved out different paths for themselves. How did it work out for them? Leaving a mark for eternity. Over the years, both friends have become media legends in their own right. Oprah is a billionaire business mogul, and Gayle King is an Emmy-winning journalist and member of the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. And each of them had a banner year in 2018. First up was Oprah in January. With words heard around the world, she accepted her Cecile B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes, with a roaring speech that sparked presidential race rumors. Many believed her capable enough to rule the United States. Along with Oprah's partner, Stedman, Gayle King was also Oprah's date that night. Oprah even took to Instagram to show fans a glimpse of their glam session.
And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories.
In which she poked fun at her friend's lack of moisturizer. In June that same year, for a segment on CBS This Morning, Gayle King joined Oprah for a first peek at Oprah's new exhibit at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, which showcased her monumental life and career. And 4 months later, the tables were turned when Gayle took the spotlight as she was officially inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. It was her friend Oprah that presented her friend the award at the ceremony with a heartfelt toast. Oprah was full of nothing but praise for her friend, as she noted that she deserved to be celebrated, not just for her news acumen, but for being her consistently joyful, vibrant, best outlook on life, best outlook on everybody self. Oprah continued, saying that everyone there had gathered together on that night to celebrate Gayle King for continuing to build a legacy in the space of nice. They were there to honor her curiosity, there to honor your inquisitive interest in all of humankind. Most importantly, they were there to honor her desire to know the truth. Gayle King had received numerous awards in the course of her long career. Were these awards merited? Interviewing R. Kelly, scoring an interview with R. Kelly, who at that time had criminal charges levied against him, was a milestone. But it is what happened in the interview that makes her stand out from the others around her. In the course of the interview, R. Kelly stood above her in his gray suit, screaming. He jumped out of his chair and pounded his chest, yelling into the camera. Gayle King sat in front of him, just inches away, emanating nothing but calm. In his first interview since he was charged with abusing 4 women,
the 2 women who live with R. Kelly are defending him and their relationship with him in the strongest terms. 21-year-old Azriel Clary and 23-year-old Joyce Lynn Savage told us they love Kelly, while their families claim he has brainwashed them.
3 of them being underage. The R&B singer spoke with Gayle of CBS Morning at the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago, and he completely lost hold of his composure. In the interview, which aired in segments, they spoke on a range of things, from his finances to his crumbling reputation in the music industry, and whether he has ever had unlawful intercourse with minors. According to Gayle King, somebody on Kelly's team reached out to her and asked if she would be interested in talking to him. This hit her by surprise. A chance to talk to the man himself? It was not something she would pass up. She was interested. When she was asked when she would be available to do the interview, she responded and asked them if he would be available the following day. She got a negative response, but they said the earliest he could do it would be Tuesday. Asked whether she would be able to fly to Chicago the following Tuesday, she responded in the affirmative. An interview of that magnitude would have laid down rules. Gayle King recounted that they didn't want any questions about Aaliyah, which she was fine with. She felt we had heard the Aaliyah story. Really, this interview was about R. Kelly's reaction to the Surviving R. Kelly documentary and the latest charges, and they said he could not discuss the latest charges because those were still in court. She agreed to all of the ground rules because she felt that they had a lot of information to get from R. Kelly. She also got a lot of praise for keeping her composure when R. Kelly lost his. She could see the situation escalating, but she didn't think he was going to jump out of his chair. Even when he jumped out of the chair, she didn't think he was going to do anything to her.
Didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
It's just that he was extremely emotional and extremely worked up. The problem is when a person gets that out of control. The way he was hitting his fist, and the way that he was cursing, the intensity of his voice. Sometimes you can't control yourself, and she just didn't want to get hit accidentally. So she just decided that she would just sit there very quietly and would look at him to let him know she was not getting up. She worried that if she got up, that would have sent the wrong signal to him, telling him that that was it. The interview was over, even on a subliminal level, and he would have felt it okay to leave. According to Gayle, the worst thing you can do when someone is that emotional is to say, "Calm down." Everyone knows what it's like when you're really worked up and somebody tells you to calm down. So she knew she didn't want to do that. She thought to herself, "Let me just sit here quietly and let him know that I'm not going anywhere. When you're finished, we'll continue." That was her attitude to his outburst. In her head, the only thing she kept on ringing was, "Please don't walk out, please don't walk out, please don't walk out," because she had seen him walk out of interviews. And she was sitting here thinking they were not even halfway done. She was just thinking that she wanted to salvage this. She wanted to save it. She also felt sympathy for a human being that she could see was coming unglued. She made it clear that she did not have sympathy for the charges or the allegations, and she did not ever want to witness something like that. But she did think that he needed help. Afterwards, she told him that she hoped he would get therapy. For someone like him, she felt it must be helpful. That interview gives us a glimpse into who she is. She has managed to balance so much in her life and remained unfazed by the outburst of R. Kelly. But how does she get it done?
I would disagree that this could happen to anybody famous, R. Kelly.
And this can happen to anybody.
But people have gone their whole careers and have not had the allegations that have been leveled against you.
A winner's routine. Gayle King is a busy woman. She starts her days co-hosting CBS This Morning with Norah O'Donnell and John Dickerson, and then heads over to the offices of O, the Oprah magazine, where she's the editor of her famous Best Friend's Namesake magazine. She also makes time for award shows like the Golden Globes and flies around the country doing interviews. She has 2 adult kids and lives on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Her alarm goes off at precisely 22 minutes after 3 in the morning, and then she keeps a backup alarm that goes off at 25 minutes after 3, just in case. One thing she's really glad about is that she's never overslept. When she had the State of the Union, she had a really long day because she had flown to Chicago to do an interview with Chance the Rapper and then flew back the same day. They told her to go home and take a nap, but she was so worried that she would sleep through the alarm because she was so tired. So she just lay there terrified, afraid to go to sleep. But usually, her morning routine involves waking up, getting out of bed, getting in the tub, and then the car comes and picks me up at 30 minutes after 4. She then heads to the studio to do her hair and makeup and meetings before the show, and then it's off to the races. On her show, they once had a sleep expert, and they had to wear Fitbits for 3 days so they could average the amount of sleep they got. Hers was 4 hours and something. This is something that she prides herself in. In her office over at CBS, she has a painting of a little black girl on a swing, because at one point in everyone's lives, we've all been on a swing. She bought the painting in Park City, Utah, when she went to the Sundance Film Festival years ago from an art vendor on the sidewalk. After her former co-host's harassment scandal, she noted that she never thought they would be part of the conversation, and that came as a big surprise to her. But she is also so grateful the conversation is happening. Of course, it was painful for her, But one thing they at CBS maintain is that they have a lot of professionals. She knew that it would be something they would get through together as a team. She knew they weren't going to be devastated or crippled by it, and that would figure it out. The rest of the team, John Dickerson. Nora and herself are a very strong team together, and everybody that works in that building wants to put out a first-class product. And she never doubted that they would be able to do it. Gayle majored in psychology, but she worked at a TV station part-time during college. It was an entry-level position, and she just got hooked. On one of her earlier days at the station, there was a breaking news story. She was fascinated to see how quickly people ran around to get the story on the air. She loved the immediacy of it, and that she could be in a position to give the news. That's why there's a little black girl in her office swinging, because she used to be that girl.
This morning we are sharing more of our exclusive interview with a woman whose confrontation with a black teenager in a New York hotel was caught on camera over the holidays.
Combining both her job and being a mother can be quite stressful. She also notes that her children are time-consuming, but she loves them both. Her children are grown, and she always says that they are employed and potty-trained. So it's not like she has to run home to take care of the kids or fix a meal for anybody but herself. On the issue of having a famous best friend, she notes that everyone needs to have at least one good friend that they can trust. Just one. If, as an individual, you're blessed with more than just one, then lucky you. But a friend that you know you can count on, who will tell you the truth, even if you don't want to hear it. And who's your biggest cheerleader? That's important in life, whether your friend is famous or not. Human connection is a big thing. Gayle is someone who really treasures her family and private life. But what do we know about her? Family, triumphs, and setbacks. Her triumph is not without failure, however. Her very own talk show, The Gayle King Show, was cancelled after one season due to low ratings. Despite the hurdles, she's stayed the course and built herself to be a widely respected reporter, journalist, and TV personality. As of 2024, Gayle has amassed an $80 million net worth. This is thanks to income from podcast earnings, book royalties, real estate assets, and an impressive work check. She earns an annual salary of $12 million from her anchoring on CBS, which has allowed her to be the owner of several properties across the country. A beach house in Malibu, a condo in Miami, a cabin in the Poconos, and a farmhouse in upstate New York, amongst a few more. She also has 14 luxury cars in her garage, including a Rolls-Royce, Porsche Macan, and Ferrari, 812. Having built her journalistic career brick by brick, she's certainly allowed herself to enjoy the fruits of her labor while actively donating yearly to charitable causes. Gayle King's personal life has always been a source of intrigue to her fans. She was previously married to William G. Bumpus, a former attorney. The couple wed in 1982, but after 11 years of marriage, they divorced in 1993. Despite the end of their marriage, Gayle and William have maintained a cordial relationship for the sake of their two children, a daughter, Kirby, and a son, William Jr. Gayle's role as a mother has been an essential part of her life. What do you make of Gayle's and Oprah's friendship? And why do you think their friendship has survived for so long? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.